Excuse me, fam. You know what? Um, Trying to wait to make sure my live streaming is streaming onto my other platforms. So I'm trying to wait for it to send me like a signal to let me know that my other platforms are live. See, I could see myself on my social media, my Facebook, my main Facebook page. I'm sorry, and I have a second one that I didn't know. Uh, I got about 8 social media platform pages, and I think mainly all the rest of them are private. And I've been trying to get them out of their private page, but once you do a page private, they won't let you take it to public. So I've been trying to find a way to do it. But anyway, um, this is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. That's my little song, y'all. Steve AAJ. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? I said Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. I think I want to talk a little bit about AJ. I just left off of Ron platform, right? And his thing is he was talking about like big women. Do big women get as much attention as I'm gonna say smaller women, right? And the topic, okay, and AJ, I mean, it was really nice, right? I mean, it was really, really nice. But you know, right? Now I'm 63, and I tell everybody that I'm 63, and I don't have no problem. Never, ever, ever, ever had a problem with females or none of that, with queens or none of that, right? Even when I wore over 300 pounds. But now, as I began to, when I was younger, you know, the wind blew by, you know, you got straight, you know. But now as you begin to get older, yeah, that was, ooh, AJ, ooh, I just stopped by because Ron know I normally start my stuff at 4, but I stopped by to let him know Unc just dropped in, right? But I was in my I was in there speaking in my TD Jake voice, right? Because the way they got to talking and everything, right? TD Jakes kept coming to mind. I want to swallow you up. So look, I'm over there acting stupid, AJ. I'm acting so stupid. I said I'm over there, and I'm like, y'all got Uncle here like way over here. Cause the only thing I'm thinking, right? I said I don't date women my age. Okay. Now, be honest with y'all, I need to start dating more women closer to my age, or the next wife I get. You get me? Needs to be more closer towards my age. My ex-wife is 48. I'm 63. She is mature now. She's older now. She's a grandmother. But still, in my mindset, that's still young. You get me? Because when I met her, she was 21. I was 35, going on 36. Well, actually, I'm 15 years older than her, either way it goes, right? So anytime I think of somebody like around her age, I keep thinking in my mind that's still young, even though it's old now. You get me? But it's still young. So that's where my mindset is at. So my mindset, be honest, um, and I'm telling you, there are some beautiful, women my age out there. When I say that, I'm talking about beautiful women with beautiful bodies. But I'm telling you, for me, it's the attraction. I'm telling you me. I'm telling you me. Number one, I'm not no kid like I used to be. When the wind blew by, that thing was right. Where I was chasing a little bit of everything, right? I'm not there no more with that. Didn't complete the heart mission. All right, wait a minute, True. So I'm not there. I know what I desire. Real simple. I know what attracts me. So not being smart, I do not like saying this. Women get offended when I say this. When I say I don't date women my age, and when I say I don't date women over 200 pounds, I'm telling you what I desire. I'm telling you what attracts me. And I'm going to tell you this too. If I'm telling you what I like or what I desire, and it gets you offended, if you get offended, then maybe you need to go to counseling about your self-esteem. Because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what Steve desires. So I'm telling you right now, when I say that, look, AJ, my oldest is 36, right? And be honest with you, my youngest is 24. And be honest with y'all, I thank God. Because they all grown, right? So throughout the years, a lot of their girlfriends came around. So I watched them grow up. Now I gotta get some older, AJ. So look, I watched their girlfriends grow up into beautiful young women or queens, right? They grown now. So I watched the transitioning with them. Now I'm telling it to you from a father and from a man who have daughters with girlfriends. And I'm gonna tell you this: some of them cling to me, AJ. And I had to realize, Steve, some guys not like you. Thank God I never stepped across that line. And my oldest is 36. So I'm telling y'all right now, if I wanted to be one of them sorry crut ball type people, that wasn't man-wise. That's never been a problem. And to tell y'all too, y'all know I have a housing program, right? Where I deal with a lot of mothers and children or single mothers or single women, just individually. So if I wanted to step across a certain line to take advantage of the women, I can. I choose not to do that. But guess what a lot of y'all will do? Oh, he a ball. Oh, he this. Oh, he do that. No, I just told you. If I wanted to step across that line, I can step across that line. I'm the one that make the decision not to do that type of stuff. So listen when a man tell you something, and don't put me in that category of all men. Now, I might get a 19-year-old that calls me with a 2-year-old baby. So I already know she's smexing, right? When I bring somebody that young into my housing program, I have to make it clear to them as a man, I have to make it clear to them because I know they're in a very vulnerable state. So as a man, my goal is to help you, not take advantage of you. This is how I had to talk with the women. So a lot of y'all on TikTok that likes to judge men and think all men are in certain places. Not today, bro. Because I remember back in the days. When I say I remember back in the days, I'm talking about before I turned like 50, stuff like that. You damn right. I would, and a lot of y'all know me in Baltimore. Look, I would dye my beard. Beijing, 47. And what it did, right, it would fill its in. So if I'm 63, if y'all listen to me, I love the kid and joke, right? If I'm 63, you would not think, I'm telling you, any female I talk to, because the way I carry myself, they would never think I'm the age of their parents. Never. Never. They would know I'm an older gentleman or older guy, but they never would think I was the age of their parents or probably older than their parents. That's when I was out there on the fish market. I'm talking about me. See, I can't come up here and talk about this guy, that guy, this guy, that. I'm talking about me. But if I'm talking about me, listen, if I'm talking about me, if I'm talking about Steve Copeland as a man, I'm talking about a lot of other men, but I'm talking about me. And I'm sharing with some of you women how some men can be. Now, I didn't say all, but if you have a husband, if you have a boyfriend, and some of the stuff I say out my mouth and the similarities are there, just listen. You ain't got to question them. You ain't got to go up there and say, yeah, I was listening to Mr. D, and Mr. D was talking about how y'all crap ball men do this and that. No, I'm talking about Steve. But I'm talking about two, because I can't mention who they are, but I'm talking about myself, and I'm talking about millions of other men are like me. But guess what? You can't take this from me. I'm a good goddamn man. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. I can be dishonest. I can be deceitful. It all depends on how I want to play the game. Okay? What's up, Flag? It's how I want to play the game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I got some goddamn clothes that I put on. I put this on because I'm getting ready to go for a walk after I come off of this. So I call myself getting myself prepared so when I finish, I can go grab something else and put on and take me a nice walk and go to the mailbox. Because that's what I've been trying to do since I'm able to walk again. Come on, I'm 63. I'm not dead, unalive. I'm 63. And I ain't been with a woman right now in almost 7 years. Sometimes that thing pop up, I'm like, get down, get down. So if you want to know, then that's all you got to do is ask. I ain't got no problem telling you. Because when I come on the couch conversation, it's an educational program. It's about keeping it real. Watch it pops up. But if you want to go to other platforms and how y'all call it, generalize, allegory, whatever y'all call it, right? Rather than sharing part of your, I mean, some people probably do. Excuse me, family. Some people probably do share like personal stuff. But I'm just one of the ones, right? I can't do nothing. I feel like for me, if I set up that thanks flag, FLG, if I sit up here and I try to talk about everything else, I'm just saying me. If you all right, to me, you're a fucking liar. Excuse me. Excuse that language, because I ain't mean for that to come out like that. But if you can't be honest with yourself and you got to degrade or talk about others, that goes to show me how your self-esteem is low. And I want to make this clear to a lot of y'all that likes to come on here and call yourself degrading men. Anytime you got to come up here, and forgive me, ladies, because not all. Men will do it too. When I tell y'all I sponsor men and women, I have to take them inside of themselves to deal with those trauma issues that they're running away from childhood. So a lot of women, y'all giving me flags, right? Because when I hear you downgrading men, first thing I will go, she never had a healthy relationship with her father. Come on, y'all want to keep it real? When I hear you degrading men, 9 times out of 10, you didn't have a healthy relationship with your father. You ain't have a healthy relationship with that uncle or that brother or that cousin. So catch where I'm going. Because when you put all men in certain categories, I'm I be trying not to do that, but I'm going to go right to what's your trauma. And I will do that with the men too. Because you heard me say I sponsor men and women. So 9 times out of 10, when I hear the women do it, it shows me you haven't had a healthy relationship with that male. Now, that's just dad. That's just unking them. Now, I'm not talking about the man that come into your life that tends to want to abuse you with his mouth or his fist. So now you putting all men in that category. But look at the men that's in your life. Mr. Steve not in your life. I'm not dating you. I'm not sleeping with you. So when you do that, my mind, I go there and I be trying not to. So 9 times out of 10, you've been either physically abused. You know you've been raped. So now you got the father, the uncle, the brother, the cousin, whomever. And in some men cases, it's the women. And it can be other men that did that to them too. So now we moving on up to when you into relationships. 9 times out of 10, you allow an abuser in your life. So you want to judge all men by who you pick in your life. Or women for your trauma. So you allow toxic people in your life. What I had to learn to do, now watch what Uncle did. Number one, remember the month where I'm going at. I'm using signals. Red flags for me. Number one, if you haven't had a healthy relationship with your dad. Now, I can understand if he wasn't a part of your life, right? He just disappeared or whatever. But if he was, you know, if he haven't taught you how to love, because this is what I do with my daughters and my sons. I love them. Daddy love you. And they are grown. If I hang up the phone and don't tell my kids I love them, they're going to call me right back and say, Dad, you didn't say you love me. So tell me I'm lying. Mine's are grown now. Even my little 2-year-old grandbaby, she just turned 1. I'm up there trying to sing happy birthday to her last night, and she over there playing with her toys like she ain't hear granddaddy. I'm like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. And she ain't even turn around to look and be like, where that voice coming from? I said, when I'm going to bring my level belt. You hear granddaddy over here singing to you, but she got a bunch of goddamn toys over there, right, AJ? And then she took her little thing out, right, playing with her doll baby to check her doll baby heart. I'm like, no, you ain't being no nurse right now, and granddaddy singing to you. So me and her gonna have a conversation because she don't be ignoring granddaddy. But she went over there and checked her mother's heart with her little thing, right? And she went and did her mother like this, and her mother was like, boo, 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 boo. I said, oh my God, look at this. You talking about being a proud grandfather. But she was so busy playing with her toys and everything, right? And she tore her room up. And I told my daughter, because my other daughter came and got her and took her with her, right? And I told my daughter, I said, when she come back, you make her little butt clean that goddamn room up. She 2 years old. She made the mess, make her clean it up. And she gonna start thinking 3 times. If I pull this out and pull that out and don't put it back, my mother gonna make me clean it up anyway. That's how you start educating your children. But let me go back to this. If I hear a queen, right? And please don't take it personal, because I was in a relationship like this. And I had to go talk to a therapist to find out how to better cope with that relationship. I did not know I was in a mentally, emotionally, and a verbally abusive relationship. I did not know until a therapist told me. Now, I know men have a tendency of, this and that, and they'll tear you down too. But I knew about women that being abused. I didn't know men can get abused too. I didn't know. That shocked me. Now, mind y'all, I'm grown. That shocked me. So a lot of times when you feel like it's right to cut a man down, you got a problem. You got a problem. When you got in your head, it's okay for you to constantly start arguments in your own place with your man, and vice versa. Don't get it wrong, men, women. Then you wonder why he out there sitting in the car for about 3 hours before he come in the house. Come on. Y'all better listen to what I'm saying. Because guess what? Intervention, guess what? It took me a while to make the decision to walk away from that. Now, I'm married. I'm an ordained deacon. I'm going against everything. The commitment that I made with God and then my marriage. But in order for me to keep my mindset, in order for me to my sanity, ask me right now to this day, and look at this face. I am peaceful as a mother freaky. And some people look at me, right, and they be like, you look like something wrong with you. Ain't a goddamn thing wrong with me. Both of my phones. Look, I'm on my iPhone 15 here, right? I was getting ready to order me an iPhone 17 and switch this one out. This is 12. I said, nah, I'm going to hold on to this. But look, both of them on silent. If somebody called me, I guarantee you a lot of y'all can't do that. I love my peace. I don't care what y'all say. I love my peace. I just checked my blood pressure, right? 129. Over what was about 70, 75, 78, somewhere along that line. But it said good. It said good, healthy, right? And then my pulse. And y'all hear how loud I get, right? This is like excitement for me. But y'all always have a tendency, I don't care how people do stuff, you want to turn it into a negative thing to fit your narrative. I tell y'all I'm the big mouth, bald head black dude. I tell y'all I speak out for a living, right? I tell y'all, request for me. Let me see, can I see you right there? Yeah, intervention, come on. And I tell y'all, right? Wait a minute. I tell y'all I speak out for a living. So thank you, intervention. So say like if somebody called me and say, Steve, can you come and speak at such and such and such? Yes, I do. Now, mind you, because I'm in public, it's a certain way you do carry yourself. But I am loud. So I'll start out low. And people be like, I can't hear you. We can't hear you. I say, wait a minute. Because I start out slow, low. And then next thing you know, I'm gone. Because I'm in the zone. And whatever the topic may be, I'm going to share a little bit about an issue of it. Rather it's rape, rather it's abuse, rather it's dealing with marriage, rather it's dealing with relationships. And I'm talking about committed relationships. And I only share from how I was able to work out of certain situations and gain peace in my life today. So I have to share a process because we can talk, but we don't share the steps. And I just want to finish this up for a minute in intervention about this. It's 3 flags. If you down a man, I'm not going to talk to you. If you have a tendency of degrading men and running off at your mouth a lot, wanting to argue, wanting to fuss about any and everything, you're not coming in my life. I had that happen before and I refused. So what my ex did, and I love you, baby, you know I love you. In case somebody tell you, Steve, when they talking about you daggone right, I'm talking about you. What you gonna do? But give me a hug. But cause she know I talk about things. They all know. But she taught me to watch out for certain things. So if I hear a woman, and I'm telling you, women, you probably can do this with the men too. When you hear a man or woman bashing the opposite sex, that's a sign to stay away from that. Because a lot of people will bring their trauma into that new relationship. My thing is, don't bring your garbage here. The same way with me. I know what happened with me. You're not my problem. You're not. So for me, right, and those 3 red flags, mainly if you do this a lot, oh Lord have mercy. I don't care who you is. I will jump on the defense because it's like you talking down to me. That's called mentally, verbally, that's called being mentally or verbally abusive. Let me put it like that. Anytime you use this to feel like you need to cut somebody down, you are a very verbally abusive person. And I'm gonna tell y'all, and intervention, I want you to speak next. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I hope I gave y'all the three: daddy, boyfriend, men on this, men on that. Those are indications to me that you're dealing with trauma. And be honest with you, if you're not going to get the necessary help, because I deal with women that comes through that, men too, to be able to cope with life in the here and now and not pointing fingers at everybody else because of your pain, right? I'm going to actually remove you from me, even if you're in my housing program. If you're not going to do the work, because in intervention, and I know we talked a little bit, when you sign up for my housing program, I'm going to get you a PRP. That's your that's your personal counselor to help you basically put your life back in order, right? Then we got the therapist. Then we got the psychotherapist. We got the psychiatrist. We got all of that. So these are people that I talk to help better your life. And at times, right, I'll come out of character because I like to have fun. That's why I was telling Ron. I told Ron because of his topic, intervention, and they over there talking about the big women and all this and that, and everybody going all over the place. And all of a sudden, the only person I can think of was TDJ. Cause look, Passport, the girl Passport, a United Passport came on there sounding like Passport broke, trying to trick our women, trying to get our women to go over to some other country and pick a goddamn man. She sound like a madam. And you daggone right, United, I'm gonna pick with you. Because you remind me back in the days with the pimps and the man. She talking about, don't be mad with you. I said, you know, I love you. But she sound like a daggone madam trying to get our women to sell themselves cheap. Talking about go overseas and like Passport them do. Pick a woman to come back to Baltimore. I mean, to the United States. When you got those type of women here too. Come on, intervention. Come on, Queen. You unmuted? Wait a minute.
You mute?
Oh, you know what? I had my volume down.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Missed you.
I did too.
Baltimore accent.
But look. They always teasing me. And then it was another, it was T from Baltimore too. And we was over there. You can hear the accent that's like God.
Oh, I
God.
can hear it a mile away.
I'm telling you.
The way you say cheese, it's some very distinctive the way y'all pronounce words on the end of the words. I'm an Alabama girl, so
see y'all gonna make me try to switch up my language. Like, hello, how are you?
Listen, that's my thing. When I ask my phone, hello, how are you? That's how I speak on the phone.
But yeah, I thank you. And I just want to say this. I love you and thank you for the message that you sent me. It's just for me, and I know you understand because of the population we deal with, right?
Right.
And when I start spotting certain things in you, mainly when this is running like crazy, I have a tendency I'll start going loud. But the reason why I do it is to try to bring you down. And if you hear certain things I say, I'll say, bring it down, calm it, but dealing with my clients, as long as they on their meds, they cool. But when they off their meds, I see the episodes that they're having. And I'll be like, oh my God, when the last time you had your meds? Now, it might have been a week ago. Because after it's out of their system, they start acting that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what I felt. And I so wanted to speak on that with you. So thank you.
I appreciate it because it just let me know we right here, right?
He was off his medication. He needs some medication. And I can tell you what he needs. Because that was wild. I have never seen such disrespect in my life. I was like, I can't do this. I cannot listen to this right here. I can't do this. He was so disrespectful to you. And I apologize for him because he might not have the mind to do so.
Right. And see what I'll do, once he mentioned his age, and I'm 63 and I come from the streets. So the moment I say, nephew, when I do that as an OG, that means chill out. And
he wasn't getting the message though.
Right. He wasn't.
He wasn't able to receive.
He wasn't. And
you
that's
was so kind to him.
That's how, I'll be honest with you. I would challenge our men.
Like that.
Yep.
I used to date them.
Yeah.
They don't play like that. You about to get poop you. But he didn't get the message.
He wasn't catching.
He didn't understand the assignment. He did not.
And I knew he was. I knew he was hurt, right? And
very much so.
I got a little disappointed in.
And Mr. You know who? We ain't gonna say his name.
Yeah.
I know who we talking about.
Yep. Because I tried to tell him over and over and over. Stop talking to me like I'm dumb. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
He got irate, and that hurt my feelings because he's the one that invited me up. Actually.
Be honest. I almost blocked him. I almost blocked him after that, but I caught myself. I said, nah, because if I come on your platform, you sending me something to come on, like you said. Don't debate or argue with me on your platform. And not only that, me and him is talking about business. I introduced him to a guy in Baltimore City that has a development company that I'm working with, right? Because we starting to rehab and revitalizing houses, and I need this guy for that. I called to him one night when we was on Mr. Humble's platform, and I said, please come over to such and such and such, because I wanted him to share on the business side of stuff. I told Mr. Humble, I said, I don't introduce everybody to my right hands. You know what I mean? Because I was taught not to put out everything. But anyway, me and him, we all had that conversation. So when it comes to the business side of stuff, that's where him and I relate. But the thing is, you talking to a man that already has a business, that already has a housing program, don't have no problem going back into the inner city poor communities. You're not going to hear me sit here and say, oh, I'm scared they're going to take my life and all this. Come on. Come on. But now I'm kind of questioning myself. Is he serious about what he be talking about? And it's not being smart.
I had that same perception because I was like, wait a minute. If he don't know how to see, if he can't see through this, there's also a problem there. There's a problem.
And you don't have to debate everybody. That's why I call him the prosecutor. I said, you remind me of this prosecutor. You do, because it's like somebody can share something with you and you'll come back. They sharing their personal in a way too, right? For your prompt. And you want to come back and nitpick it.
Nitpick it to death.
Yeah.
They down here where I am. I'm in Alabama, you know.
It's a turn off.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I so hated that for you. I was so hurt for you with that interaction.
And I tried my best. And I'm sorry, intervention. I tried my best Yeah, because
I gotta give you that. But I know that had to be hard because that person, he was so vulgar and nasty. You being an elder in the community, it was just mind-boggling for me. I couldn't do it. I
had another guy that did that to me from Baltimore. And I told him, I said, meet me up at Norfolk, Pennsylvania. You know, this sucker came up there. Yep. And he said, I'm right here. I said, well, how everything look now? Is it quiet over there? I said, I just wanted you to show me around. I haven't been over that way in a while. I had an operation. I'm like, man, boy, don't you know if man, look, catch that. Man, I grew up in West Baltimore in the 60s. Oh, wow. That's my area I used to, do stuff in. God removed me out that area because, look, I would have gave him some sign. Go up there and ask them where that big, my boy, black dude that watch what happened to you. Go up there and ask them where Deacon Steve and watch what happened to you. Because they know where I'm at. And if you coming for me in a negative way, hey.
Whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. And even if I came over, number one, guess what? I ain't even gonna let you know who I am.
Exactly.
And on top of that, a lot of people, like when I hear people say that to me, I say, all right, meet me at Pennsylvania North. Because if you know about Pennsylvania North.
I've been to a lot of places, but I have never been to Maryland. That's on me. I was a little afraid. I'll be honest.
I don't travel like I used to. Intervention. Now my 24-year-old, well, I was gonna say 22, that's my son. My 24-year-old, she loves, and she got her bachelor's of art degree. So her thing is, she's becoming a lawyer. She working in a law firm, but she going back to school to get her license and everything. But
her JD.
Yeah, thank you.
Doctorate, yeah.
Juris
doctorate.
I'm not I'm not used to all that stuff. When she graduated from college with her bachelor's of art degree, I had to look it up because something happened to me where I couldn't go to a graduation because of this. Matter of fact, I think I shared with y'all how 2 police came together and shut me down. So I wasn't able to make her graduation. That tore me up. But she graduated with her bachelor's of art degree in criminal justice. I'm so proud of her.
I got my bachelor's of science in criminal justice.
Woo!
Yes, I did.
Woo! And I think I was listening to you saying certain things too. Now, let me show you what I did with my daughter, right? Because of me being a community activist, human rights advocate, stuff like that, I walked my daughter through the community where we was doing a protest to let her know this is the type of stuff that you're going to college for. To study, because I asked her about the constitutional rights, right? Because y'all have to understand amendments and all that, right? So this, now mind you, I ain't got no experience in this. I'm talking with my daughter about this, and I'm like, this is what your daddy do as a community activist, as I'm gonna say a civil rights advocate. I'm gonna try to make it plain and simple, right? I said, this is what your father do, because we fight for the democracy mainly for the Black people. But because of the organizations I'm with, we don't care if you're Hispanic, we don't care if you're purple. If your rights are being violated, it's organizations out there. You get me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And I be trying to explain that to some people, but it's like they don't get it. So, and I'm used to being loud. Mainly, like I said, if I'm called out to speak and I'm in front of a crowd, I will have to back off the mic. Because once I go, right? So I would have to back up. Yeah. And I didn't know what it was for the longest time until somebody sent me something that said, read this right here, Spiritual Warrior. And when I read that up, it explained everything to me.
Yeah, and you also need to read The Art of War. You know I got you.
I'm trying to think that somebody else taught me that.
I'm sure they did.
Whew.
It's an ancient book, but it teaches you strategy.
Right. And that's where I'm at. I have topics that I call myself doing like Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4. But for some, I kind of got away from it because on my platform, I don't let everybody up. If you spitting knowledge and inspiration and stuff like that, yes, I don't mind that. But if you want to come up and think you're gonna yell and scream and disrespect, not on this right here. And you said The Art of War. I want to
by Sun Tzu. It's a Chinese, Oriental. I don't know what the right word is. They change everything every week.
Yeah, because I try to stay on top.
Sasun? I think it's Sasun, which is CHASOAN or something like that.
I see. Wait a minute. Okay, I see it. It say Sun Tzu, something like that. Like you said. Yeah, because anything.
Please read that.
I am.
Please.
I am. Anything that will help me, better with community. Harder. And I had to pray for God to humble me down. But then it's like, God says, this is the way I created you, Steve. You're not like your regular deacon. Huh?
Your voice is important. Your voice.
Yeah.
Your voice is important.
And that's what I started saying, because I'll say this too, intervention, my mouth. And I tell people this too. My mouth is the biggest weapon for the body of Christ. And see, I'm an ordained deacon, but I'm in the streets. I'm looking at a lot of the deacons that's in my church, right? There you go. There you go. And I'm looking at that because sometimes I like to joke and I kid and I play. And I said, the Holy Spirit kicked me out the church. He told me, look, the Spirit said, I need you more out there than in here. I'm like, I ain't going out there next time. I'm in the streets.
I think you're a recruiter.
Yeah.
That's what I feel for you. You recruit and encourage and bring the people back to the fold. So I think that's your gift. I think that's one of your gifts.
And see, everything you saying, intervention, it's not with the T-E-R, right? It's intervention, right? Or am I saying it right? Okay. Now, you know.
Tell you my name, Stephen. My name is Nefertiri, which means beautiful sun kiss, beloved of God. So that's what my real name. But on here, I'm Interventions by AJN, which is my initials backwards.
Okay.
So that's what that is. Okay.
And thank you, because you know what? Be honest with you. I run across, I'm going to say on here, a lot of therapists, doctors. Now,
and I'm not going back to pay them no more money to get no doctorate. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it.
You know what?
I'm not going back to get my doctorate. I'm not going to do that.
You know what? I was going to, well, I looked up the word life coach because somebody.
And I'm a certified life coach.
Right. And I was going to do it. I think I was sharing it with you. Somebody said, Steve, you are a life coach. Because that's what I do. I help people put their lives back together. So I was like, wow, I never looked at it like this. So I looked it up, right? And I'm just saying, for me, and as I was reading it, it was saying it's best not to be a certified life coach. Now, you might can help me with certain things, and I know your words might have to be limited. But now, I don't know how deep y'all can really go with the clients as far as the ones that
Let me help you. With the life coach, you can go as deep as you need to. When you get that license as a therapist, that's where your power stops. Because you got to go by what the state says you can say or what the state says you can do. That's why I never got that license. I got a certification, which is completely different. And I talk to them just like I'm talking to you.
Right.
Nigga, no.
Right.
You lying. And you can do that with a certification. But that license, someone can call in. Oh, they talk to me this way. Da, da, da. Now your license on the line. And you don't pay for this. You've done 2,500 hours.
And see what you just said? And I had made some statements about certain things, right? And somebody, because of what I do, gonna tell me, but you can't do this, you can't do that. So let me tell you something I can do because of the way I am. I'm not certified, I'm not licensed like that. So when it comes to me, I can move in a certain way with them because I need to take them into that space of trauma, what they running from, so we can get to the root cause, basically.
We gotta sit in it.
Right. Now,
and that's what I tell them all the time. You got to sit with yourself.
And I'm going to tell you, that's when it pointed out to me that basically, once you are licensed, you got to follow by the HIPAA laws with certain people. Now, you can't, with me, you cannot. Number one, if I'm doing my intake and you're in my housing program, the way I deal with you is the way I deal with you to help you change that mindset. But I send you to the professionals, the ones that's certified and licensed like yourself. Because guess what? We know Medicaid or medical assistants, they know that's how they get paid for their work. So if I send 20 clients to the PRP, and even she can do the group sections or sessions, or she could even do the single. But either way, I sign off for that because she serviced the clients in it so she can get paid. The same with the psychiatrist, the same with the therapist. anybody that comes into the housing program, I'm referring my clients. I'm bringing you clients.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what I try to tell people. I'm not held bound by certain laws. And
Right.
and even with the multi-purpose center, right? I was reading up on that. And I don't have to be licensed. Say like if I was to open up a field or have a multi-purpose center, right? And have a field where they can train and all of that. But I can hire the licensed professionals.
Okay, so when I come to Baltimore, we're going to lunch and you're paying.
And that's all I try to do is just explain to people, right? Try to educate our people.
And mainly, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Steven, Mr. Copeland, I'm sorry.
I'm all right.
It's a battle every day. Do you know the headache that I have at the end of the day? As a matter of fact, my head is hurting now because I've been in sessions all morning. And it's like, don't you see what I'm saying? And they can't see what I'm saying. They can't. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what kind of block that is. I don't know if it's a chakra. I don't know if it's something. And I think it's cultural, right? Because I am I'm a woman of color. I am an African descent. I am an indigenous person. But we will not do what's best for us. And it hurts me to my core. Because I know what made the difference in my life was getting a good therapist. And I had an amazing therapist for 6 years because I was working in corporate America, and them people would make me want to throw them out the window. And that's what I said. My first time we talked, I said, I'm going to kick my supervisor out of the window on the 3rd floor. And he said, oh, no, we got to get you away from there. That's what he said to me. We got to get you away from there because you cannot do that because you are too amazing to be in prison. We cannot let you go to jail. And we made an exit plan for me to start working for myself, which I should have been doing all along. But I had that state certification. You know what I'm saying? I had that badge that gave me power. I had a badge. Yes, I did. I could go anywhere, anytime, at any place and get in anything because of that badge. I had to let that go because it was killing me.
And I try to help people understand, right? Because I'm just saying, basically for myself, right? And it's not to, when I say certain things, it's not to put myself down. But I'm just letting people know how it's you, the individual, that holds their own self back.
You got to let them know.
Yeah. So I'll sit here and I'll share certain things with them because I came out in the 10th grade. I got a 9th grade education, so my vocabulary is limited. But when it comes to business, you don't know that.
You got it.
You don't know
that. You got that business acumen. Yes, you do.
Yeah. So, and then guess what? When they do the white and black thing, now I know it's designed to keep us down. But my thing is, they're not keeping me down because it's where I'm at business-wise. It's self. But now, the same people that you talk about, say it again.
You solid.
Right. And the same people that they want to point the fingers at, those the ones that a lot of, not just the white man, but when you in business, you run across all cultures.
I do. And I have made friends in all those circles.
Right. Let me meet that guy that's supposed to brought Trump that plane. Hey, look, I need some of that money to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses in Baltimore City. Can you? I don't care. Yeah. Look, let me go to Africa and speak to that new president. Can you help me rebuild in Baltimore City like you doing here? That's all I want to know. So that so our people can live a more productive, way of life. And I'm talking about the ones that's not making 200,000-300,000 like a lot of them on TikTok ain't making it. They coming up here talking about 6 figures and all that. And I'm like, half of y'all probably
6 figures around here like that no more. And we can because it is a recession. And most millionaires are made in a recession period. 2008, we had an influx of at least 10%. millionaires, people that made so much money during the time of 2008 to 2010. It's that same period now, but we're afraid. We don't got $10. Groceries are sky high. They're trying to take away every program to help people that need those programs. I fed my whole community. I did a cookout. I did a whole thing with everybody in an area of town that I live in. I fed everybody on my own dime from my back door. And I did it on purpose. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on in America? This is not the America I grew up in. This is not. I came from a small town. I'm going to tell you, Bullock County, Union Springs, Alabama, 36089, Peachburg Road, way down in the heart of Dixie, okay? And this is what my family always did. We had farms, we had cattle, we had all those things. And every year we did a big, everybody come out and feed everybody, do all things. I'm used to being there. I'm used to being a resource social worker.
Right.
And now I'm in a different space and time. And luckily, I'm able to do that. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus, whoever you serve and worship. And I'm able to feed people in my community. But do you know that I have went to try to help people and they said, we don't want that.
And you know what? Some people be honest because of their pride and ego. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can't blame them because the hardest thing for me to do personally.
And you're a man, but I'm talking about single mothers.
I got you. The hardest thing.
Furniture, good stuff.
Intervention. The hardest thing for me to do, I can beg for everybody else. Mm-hmm. But if I need your help for something, it is hard for me to ask for your help on a personal level. That's why I thank God where I'm at in my life, where basically I don't want for nothing.
Right. And I don't either.
Right. And that's what I was trying to tell people. I said, man, look, please. I have to, because of the temporary housing part of what I do, I have to deal with a lot of real estate investors.
And we need that down here, so I need your help.
And see, that's why. Well, we connected now. So yeah, we connected because I was dealing with this Jewish guy, and I know he's still there, right? But I was dealing with this Jewish guy who works with. He got a contract with HUD Housing, so he has so many properties that he can put people in under that money, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, his thing is his goal of working with me, because my program is to help you to teach you how to be responsible with your bills and everything. Mm-hmm. Make sure you pay your rent on every month on time. Keep your place clean, because when you go into this landlord's place, he don't want you turning his stuff up. Right. So me and him was having a conversation, and Jewish guy, and because of the temporary side and how we work, he said, yeah, because I'm the permanent side. I said, you got me. So he already knows that we're preparing people to make sure they pay their stuff on time and teaching them how to maintain their property. So I got people that works with us. I'm talking about like contractors that can teach you how to cut grass, to mechanics, the ones that want to go back to get into mechanic school, all that. We got all that. Right. So that's where the apprenticeship program, that's the third step of my housing program, to get you into that.
I need to come to Baltimore. I'm going to have to come to Baltimore and say, even though I don't know nothing about you, you're going to have to come get me because I'm scared.
Well, as time go on, we can, because I need you. Do not get it wrong, because I know where you at professionally and stuff like that. And I need people that's around there that when I'm talking, and I know you're more, I'm going to say, educated or professional in that area, those are the ones I need. Mainly, watch this where I go. You understand the brain. Mm-hmm. You understand the chemical imbalancement within the brain. And see, that's how I have to deal with my clients. But I'm not real good with like what side of the brain that might not be the neural something. You get me? Yeah. See, you know all that because you studied that.
Plasticity. So we good. I got you. If I can help you in any way, I promise you I will.
And I be needing it for this because one, I don't look. Me and the guy got into it last night, and he was on my, like right now they hear you on my live stream, right? My broadcast network. So him and I was talking, and he was talking about making money with TikToks and all of that, which is not a problem. Facebook, all of that, which is not a problem. But my thing is, I don't have that time to actually, I come on like this. I don't have that time to play with it where I can get it to the point that it's making money. So that's not my problem. And that's what I was telling him. I said, let me tell you something. I'm a businessman. This is how I promote and advertise my business.
Right.
Is when I come on my lives to let people know what I do in Baltimore City. And then I mentioned LinkedIn to him. And God dang it, he had something negative to say about LinkedIn. I said, they are mostly business people.
Yes.
God.
But this is what I think you need. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And please forgive me. But I'm carrying menopause and I'll forget, okay?
Thank you.
You need a social media manager. That's what you need.
All that.
I do.
I need cause guess what? And you make me look. I got about 14 social media pages, and that stuff be draining me.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, I have to go over and check my my website. See, do I have any messages? Because if you want to contact me, you know, I'm on Google. So you see my name. So you can Google me to tell you everything about me. So I got to go over to Google, check that, make sure stuff is right, unless somebody left a message. I got to go into my messengers. So I'm checking this page, that page, this page. Because I tell people I have a lot of social media platforms. I'm like, you know what? And I know people that will manage all that for me, but it costs.
You need to go to Fiverr. Fiverr. $3. They'll do it for $3 an hour.
I need it. And I'm going to tell you something else too. This is a talk show.
Yeah.
So I'm streaming live. Now on my broadcast network, that's 7 days a week, 24 hours. I can, if somebody want to come up and advertise their product and stuff like that, or come up and we talk like this for an hour or two, you're going to pay for your slot. You get me? Yeah. So I can do all of that. But guess what? Once again, I need somebody to run that. I've been trying for the years now. I've been trying to do it myself, but it's, you know, it's real draining. What you say, AJ? My sister does social media. Yeah. And AJ, I had a young lady, right, that Yellowstone, something like that, production. And I told her I need her because I need a cameraman. I need the lights. So whenever I pop in at 4, I need you to start me at 4 and end me at 4:45. I come on here. My goal is to end this at 4:45. It's almost, I'm past my restream on my broadcast. I'm 15 minutes over. And sometimes I'll be on it for about 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah. But that's not, I want to start and end on time. Because I'll be thinking about like people like Oprah Winfrey and them, how they started out. But you got to have that team that even if I don't show up to be able to produce the show, they can put something in its place for that time frame. See, I need somebody to do all that. Now I can sit back and try to set it up myself, but that's too much.
A lot of work.
Oof.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. In the same way we can pull up 8 people over here, I can do 10 on my Restream platform. But now, one guy that I'm talking with, and he told me he want me to be a part of their team, fighting for reparation, right? And I told him, I said, okay, because I said maybe this is where God is trying to get me to go. Look, because you know who we got to go after, right?
Oh yeah.
And he ran for mayor and he told me he wasn't gonna run for mayor no more, but him and a group of people now coming together to fight for the reparation. And I was telling him about the housing program. And, you know, to do the rehabbing and revitalizing, you have to look for lenders or investors. So he explained to me that what I'm trying to do to get lenders and investors, but getting the money to do the restoration. I mean, to get the reparation, basically the government is actually going to pay for it. Everything. That's the way they got it designed. So when he told me that, I said, okay, I got you back. Now, the way they doing it, is to do it by 28, right? To get everything done, because we got some people that we want to put into position as well. So that's why I told him, I said, basically teach me everything that I need to know, because with me, intervention, once I get a great understanding of what you're trying to do or what we're doing, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone with this. That's all you need. Yeah, I'm gone. And that's why he asked me, because he know me. And I said, we can use my platform and everything. So that's great. It's just working with them, right? Because they know what I do. And they know when it comes to our people, I don't play. You have a heart for it. Yeah. And I get people because of the LLC. And if they have a nonprofit, they're asked for us to partner up. So actually, when I get products and everything, I can use your EIN number to write it off, you know. So a lot of them were asked for us to team up, and I don't have no problem with that. But now, if I find out that you full of crap, I am going to move away from you. Yeah, I am. So, and that's why I like doing my lives on here, because what I'll do 60-second clips, and I'll put like 5 on TikTok. That's why I have to watch what I say, because I'll be waiting to break them down. And what I try to explain to people, the same way I'm talking here is the same way people around the world is listening, even though they might not be responding. That's not a big problem with me. The point is getting the message out. And that's what me and this guy got into an argument about last night. He come talking about how he want to hook up with me. He in DC, right? You know a lot about Baltimore. Yeah. Now he talking about he want to hook up. So when I'm on both of this, but I had to drop this because my battery had died. So I had to my restream broadcast, I had to go ahead and cut it off, right? So he called my phone, talking about he wanted to tell me something for 10 seconds. Now, mind you, now I'm on TikTok alone. So I'm listening to him. I had to end my TikTok live. 10 seconds turned out to be 3 hours. Oh my God. So he started, and I hope you're right there, Tony. He started comparing himself to me. And I said, Tony, please stop. Because number one, I'm not going to debate. And I'm not comparing myself to no man, because number one, we all have our own way of doing things. Right. Then you know a man, you're a man. Yeah. And that's what I kept trying to tell. And then look, he said something about having a stroke a while back. I said, Tony, where's your brain? Because now look, you talking about hooking up as businessmen. The way you talking, we can't communicate. That's not gonna work. So now I talk, but number one, I talk, but I know how to shut up and listen, right? And that's all I was telling him. When you talk, I listen. When I talk, you listen. You give me a chance to get it out, right? So anyway, everything I would say, he would flip it. He would constantly flip it. And it became about everybody else but us. And I said, Tony, you talking to me. I want to hear about no Trump. I want to hear about no Mayor Barry, Mayor Barry, and that was years ago. I'm talking about a lot of years ago, back then in them days. I remember him. But look, we talking about everybody but what you called me about. Then it went from 10 seconds to us being on here now for about 3 hours, yelling and screaming. I said, bro, I'm not trying to be smart. I said, I'm not trying to be smart, bro. But the way you running off in my mouth, you remind me of my ex-wife. I said, man, don't do that, bro. Why is you steady? I said, man, why is you steady trying to compare such and such and such? You know, and I'm like, we ain't got to do that. I said, look, I said, I'm going to talk about you on my platform now, since you want to be smart. I'm going to talk about you. Don't mess with Steve. So that's why I said, I hope your butt over there looking. Because he come talking about, yeah, because I be on my stuff, and you don't this and that, you don't this and that, but I be on your stuff. I got more views than you. I said, let me tell you something. I used to focus on the views a lot, too. I had to learn at one point, if look, whatever I say out my mouth, if it just reach one person to help them turn their lives around, I might not never know who it is. I didn't do what God called me to do. I said, I used to be big on that too, viewers. I said, man, please, you talking to an old head. And then
you got to know that you're working in a purpose. That's the most important thing.
And look, we talked about all that. He said, well, at the end of my stuff, I'm like, how did he say it? He prayed. Wait a minute. I guess he do a benediction. Those who don't know Christ, you're welcome to turn. And I said to myself, if you talking to people the way me and you yelling and screaming over here, they ain't staying, bro.
Ain't nobody coming over there.
They ain't staying, yeah. And then he ain't know this right here, right? He mentioned Jesus. I said, but what was Jesus' purpose when he came to this earth?
Exactly.
Then he forgot the part that Jesus told the 12 disciples. He said, come follow me, because he knew they was good at fishing. So he knew they would be very good at fishing for men. I said, you don't want to talk scripture to me, bro. Because it's not that you want to talk it. I can tell you, I'm personally living it. That's why he told me go back into the community. And I was like, Jonah, I ain't going out there. I'm in the streets. I like saying it because if you're not obedient, do not play with me. If you have been called, right? Wait a minute, that's why we have a hard time keeping people in the church. Right. And AJ, I tell people, I don't care what your lifestyle is, you get me? Don't you never let nobody stop you from building that relationship with Christ or the Holy Spirit. Because he loves you in spite of. He don't, because see, this is the stuff I had to learn, right? And mainly for myself, family. When I read and I study Bible, that's God's way of talking to me. Now, I can use it to tear people's life apart and destroy them. I can use it to encourage and motivate. But I choose to use it to empower people. And this dude know what I do. He know what I say. But in his head, I'm tearing people apart. So I was trying to be nice. Because I said, didn't you say you had a stroke not too long ago?
Oh, wow.
How is your, because, bro, you ain't connected. I sat up there and told you, I said, look, I put all my kids through college, me and my wife, blah, blah, blah. He started talking about a club in D.C. Do you remember such and such club? I'm like, I'm not from D.C. I said, I'm about to end this call. Because
there was a trap.
Sometimes, and I'm going to say this, and I have to tell our men a lot of times, you don't have to size me up. I do what I do, right? And
I think you're very transparent with what you do.
Thank you. And some men get offended.
They do.
And when I catch you and I realize you might be a little jealous or uncomfortable, yeah. When I spot it, and I try to be careful intervention. Because what I try to explain to people, when you put your life on the line, because when I look at people like, basically, it's like I'm a model of Martin Luther King. You know, got ordained deacon and everything, but I'm in the streets and I deal with organizations, civil rights groups and stuff like that, right? So when I realize and I get touchy when I say this, right? When I realize how when you speaking out against certain things, you can become become unalive.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have to ask myself, is it worth it? But then I had to realize who called me to do this. And that's where my protection is at. So I just want a lot of men to know, I understand when your butt is afraid to go back out into the community and lift up your other brothers and sisters. I can understand that because sometimes my flesh don't want to do it, but I have to ignore my flesh and do what the spirit say. And it throws them all off. So I try to let them know this is ministry for me. That's why I tell y'all a lot of times when I say certain things and I hear men bragging on their manhood and all that type of stuff, I remember going through that. All of that. I can just about tell you how old you are when I hear you looking at this to make you to judge your manhood. I remember being there. And I don't want to tell them, right? From the age of 48 to like 52, men go through menopause thing. It's a name for it, intervention, and I know you probably know it. I ain't know what it was. I'm like this. What is going on with me? And look,
it's called andropause.
Okay.
A-N-D-R-O.
Oh, it was a white man that told me what it was. But now it's all other older guys that helped me to understand too. And I'm like, oh my God, because I didn't understand it. And I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I couldn't release myself, and I'm taking all this and that. I'm nice, but it's like, why it ain't? And they helped me to understand what I was going through.
Oh my God,
yeah. So I'm better now.
I'm so glad you're better.
Hey, look.
I'm so glad you're better.
And look, intervention. I don't be wanting to share that with our men because I don't want them to get scared to go get a physical. And then I tell them about this one too. I went and got a colonoscopy. And look, they put me out. And when they brought me back, I don't know if the doctor might have
whatever he was doing.
You still love me? Guys be like, cut that out, Steve. I said, look, I'm telling y'all, look, they gave me that Propofol, whatever it was, whatever they gave me. I was like, yeah.
I called it Michael Jackson.
I'm telling you, that sucker took me down. Yeah. And when
don't give me that Michael Jackson.
My stomach hurt. So I be asking guys that I know get ready to go do it. I be like, is they gonna put you to sleep or keep you awake?
The Propofol. You know, are you going to see this is another side, but there's the Michael Jackson movie is coming out in 2026, and his nephew is playing Michael. Jaffer is playing Michael.
Yeah, I heard about the movie, but I was listening to a song with him and his nephews.
Yeah.
And the other night I had downloaded it, and it just took me back to them, you know, because I grew up with them.
You back. But let me tell you what happened. Real quick. You know, I'm in Alabama, 45 minutes from Birmingham. But they, the security and the police were called on Howard Hewitt. You know who Howard Hewitt is? Do you remember him?
Yeah, they called him for what?
This he is for loving you, Howard Hewitt. They put him out of the hotel, honey.
Oh, the singer Howard Hewitt.
Yes.
You know, when you said that, I thought about, no, I got you now because it just sunk in. But when you said that, I thought about Howard Stern. Howard, why they put him out?
The girl was 22 and she didn't know who he was. She didn't know who he was. I'm like, how in the world do you not know who Howard Hewitt is?
She's 22.
He old now,
right?
You know,
right? She's
he
22.
Did a live on it, and he did 2 lives actually. And I was like, the disrespect.
She ain't know who he was
on the internet. She
right.
looked him up.
She didn't know who he was because, you know, basically, be honest, he an old. That's why she didn't know who he was. That's why she ain't know. And like you said, she actually could have looked it up if she knew who Howard Hewitt was. And I'm gonna guarantee you, if I mention Howard Hewitt name, my 36-year-old might know, but I can guarantee you my kids might not know. The ones that's under 30.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I'm looking at Soul Brother down there, Deacon Soul Brother. But I listen to old music. So Marvin Gaye, Al Green, all of that. And with my kids in the car, yeah. Now my kids listen to it too, because when you in my car, and this is what they would listen to and sing, right? And they do their things today too. So some of the stuff that they listen to today, that's soft music, stuff like that, I'll download that. I'll download it. I didn't download so many songs that our younger generation listen to, but I'm talking about mostly the R&Bs, the quiet ones that make you feel, energetic or spiritual, all that cursing and this and that. You keep that to yourself. Wait a minute, AJ said I just looked him up. I know his face didn't. Oh, AJ, since you said that, I did not know Mr. T was 90-something years old.
Yep.
I seen it. I used to have the Mr. T starter kit when I was coming up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had all that gold and stuff, and I had rings on every finger.
That's from the 90s, baby.
Look, AJ. I'm telling you, I had the Mr. T starter kit, and then I had rings on every finger. Even rings on my nubs, right? You couldn't tell me nothing.
Nothing.
And the big baggy pants and all that too, the big baggy clothes. When I turned 40, it hit me, Steve, you getting old. You gotta get away from it. That's why I be laughing at our people, right? Because it's like, how you live in your 20s to 30. When you get in your 30s, unless if you growing up, you is not going to live in your 30s to your 40s the way you did in your 20s. That's if you growing up, right?
You gotta grow up.
Right.
Mentally, emotionally.
When I turned 40, I realized I'm like, Steve, because you couldn't tell me I wasn't young. I realized, I said, Steve, you getting old and it's okay.
It's okay.
I had went from a Ford Explorer to a goddamn Expedition, right? And you could not tell me I wasn't a thug.
Oh, you can't be no thug.
I was gonna because I know. And then I forgot what age I was, but I ended up buying a Suburban, right? And then look, that was a smooth ride. And then look, I'm telling you, I got an Armada now. But look, I love SUVs. But look, when President Barack came in, you couldn't tell me nothing. Because he ran in the Suburban. I was like, yes.
He was driven. He was not driven. He was
okay,
driving.
Thank you. You ain't even had to go there because I ain't have a driver. But you right. Thank you. You ain't even had to.
I love you.
But look, I'm going to mess with you now because I'm a granddaddy and I got people that ride me around. Hey, intervention. I was laughing, right? Because my kids, like my son and them, when I got my doctor's appointments and stuff, they'd come and get me and take me, right? Yeah. And my daughter driving my truck, right? So, and
you granddaddy.
You are
not that old.
But look.
You gotta shut that down.
I be thinking back, right? I be like, I remember when I used to push y'all around in strollers and changing y'all Pampers and all that type of stuff. No, hold up. The script is being flipped. They driving me around now, but they're not changing my Look, they're not changing my Pampers yet. I said no, maybe another 100 years from now. But look, I'm gonna tell you what I'm saying. It's a beautiful feeling to like see that, right? Now, when I see other fathers with children like the ages mine was now until they are adults now, and I see the connection that they have, it just takes me back to how I nurtured my children on up, because you can't see it because you in it, right? But to be able to sit back and be like, man, I remember when. I remember, and mainly when I see black men, and I might see them with, say, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old daughter, maybe another 10-year-old somebody. But when I see them with the trail, and you can tell it's dad and mom, and I be like, because I'm like, I remember when. But it's like, God dang, I'm in granddaddy mode. And I told my daughter the other day, I said, just like if I get the baby, right? Because I like joking about this, right? I haven't had her in a while, but I feel like if I get her and she show her butt off too much, I'm calling her mother back, say, hey, you gotta come and get her. Yeah. I can give her back.
And you should, because if she doing that, she doing too much.
My daughter, look, she had her on the video. My daughter was like, come on, let's go upstairs and go to bed. She said, no.
What?
She said, no. I was like,
no.
Girl, I got a lot of leather belts. You want my belt?
Let me tell you something, Mr. Copeland. I wasn't allowed to say no to my parents.
I know.
No.
Look, I was shocked. Look, she was like, no, I read it. I was like, grab her by the... She look. I was over my daughter's house for a while. This one she was a little bit younger, my granddaughter, and she would fall out, and I would have to catch her before she hit the floor. I said, girl, I cannot. I told my daughter, I said, I can't wait till I can beat her.
Oh my God.
You told grandpa to beat me? Hell yeah.
Oh no, nah.
You told grandpa to beat me?
You gotta stop.
I be telling people with bad ass kids, I be like, send them to me. I be telling, look, and intervention.
They can't come over there, Mr. Copeland.
I be telling some of my clients, they got the mouthy mouth. I said, keep playing with me. I said, don't make me pull off my damn belt. I said, don't make, I be like, don't make me pull off my belt. Well, I think I told you, one female, right? Because she was talking, because I knew she needed meds, right? Talking about she was on meds. No, you're not. Anytime you talking about taking me down and doing this and doing, I'm like, come on, we're doing it. Come on. So I'm calling my staff, right? I don't know what you calling them for, because I unalive them too. I'm like, but look, I laid her butt out, intervention, and look, I think I told you that day, right? I laid her out, and once she calmed down, and I was like, don't you ever come at me like that again. She said, you remind me of my mother. And I got offended. I said, why your mother? Why not your father?
Right.
And then I took a look, all of them, intervention. That's why I had to get women to help me, right? Because without you,
I will definitely help you.
Right, I got you. But look, I had to step back because most of them are young enough to be my daughters, rather than 40. Right. And I forget, Steve, that's not your daughter. And I'm like, come here, give me a hug. And don't you ever do that. And see, that's why for me, I had to put a team of women together to deal with the women, because to me, I get too close. And it's that daddy that comes out with me, and their children are like my grandkids.
Exactly. And I can understand that, because there's so many of us as black women that didn't have our fathers. My dad died when I was 11, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Ooh.
He died when I was 11, so I didn't get that daddy. Now, my mom remarried, and my stepdaddy was a whole nigga, okay? He hated my guts, and he told me that every day when my mother wasn't around. He called me black, he called me ugly, he called me big lips, all that. And I went through that for 11 years. He nailed me in a bathroom with boards across the bathroom door because he said I was looking at myself too much. So he was going to show me. My brother saved me. He took those boards off the door, let me out of that bathroom. He basically, I guess it would be kidnapping at this point. That's what he really did. He nailed me shut in a bathroom. I could not get out. He put boards across. He went outside and got boards and nailed them across the door because I was looking at myself too much.
And you know today, you know what that is.
Abuse.
And and it kind of got me a little touchy, right? Because that's some of the psychological trauma that people tend to take out on other people, you know. So I know, yeah, I know. I'm sorry to, you know, but
yeah, it's okay.
Once you said it, and I know where you at now, and I know for us, right, who went through certain childhood things, you know.
Yeah.
Now my mother raised me, and she taught me morals and values and principles and stuff like that, right?
Right.
And one thing she said to me, she said, men take care of their responsibilities. So at 10 years old, I was taking on adults' responsibilities, cooking, cleaning, all of that. Right. And thank you, because I said I refuse to do that to my children. So then on top of that, I'm 63. So I can't even tell you if my father living or not. So sometimes it still hurt. And that's why I tell men how important it is, no matter you or the mother, no matter how y'all make it or not, biologically, it's a part of your child that's missing. The mother part is there, but that father, they got to feel that bond.
Yeah.
That's why I embrace my kids. That's why I hug my kids. I tell them I love them. I'm telling you.
Yes.
And I got 2 stepdaughters, and I had to do the same with them intervention. The 26-year-old, when I met her mother, she was 2 months. The 30-year-old, when I met her mother, she was going on 4. But I'm gonna tell you like this: they are my goddamn daughters. I don't care what nobody say, and they know it. Thank you, baby. They know it because guess what? I like the kid and joke. You know, I'm a fool, right? I like the kid and joke. I got 2 baby mamas.
We can't take everything too seriously.
Look, I got 2 baby mamas and 3 baby daddies, right? I heard what's your name say that one time, Lachey. But no, my first wife, that I've been knowing, she had a son by another guy, but you know, we got together and then my daughter came.
Right.
So now, but to me, that's my son. Now, my 2 stepdaughters, this what I do with the 26-year-old. The 26-year-old, her father, right? We cool. I say, look, you're daddy number 2, and I'm daddy number 1. He be like, cut that shit out, Steve. And then when I get around him and his fathers and his uncle and them, I be like, what's up, y'all? What's up, family? Blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm daddy number 1. He daddy number 2. He be like, stop that shit, Steve. Stop that. I said, I'm Tashir Godfather. I'm stepfather. They all know who I am. But look, that's how him and I play. So when the grandbaby came, right, I said, you know what? I'm going to be nice this time. You could be granddaddy number 1. I'm granddaddy number 2. But by right, that's my goddamn grand. I don't care what you say.
Right. You're right. And it's okay.
Yeah. And
you don't have to be all right with it.
And somebody said, say like if she was to get married, and that's no problem, you know.
Right.
I wouldn't mind if her father would actually walk her down. You know, I don't have a problem with that.
You're so sweet.
Thank you. But look, I ain't think about it intervention. They say y'all both can walk her down. I said, I don't know, cause I probably walking her down like this. She probably look over, Dad, can you please stop?
But we all need a daddy to walk us down the aisle. We want a daddy to walk us.
Right.
Even as grown as we are, and I'm grown. Because we probably, I'm how many years younger than you? You're 63, right?
Right.
I'm 11 years your junior. And I'm dating a guy, and and it's with intention, of course. No sex.
I like that. I like that.
And because we've known each other from before, he's a previous NFL player and all that. So he has the means and he has the money and he has the protection. And I'm very curious. And he's a great guy. I promise you he is. But I'm scared. And we were friends for years. She never mentioned that she had children. Don't you see that as a red flag? I do. We were friends for years. We worked out together. We went to gym together. We walked together. She never told me she had children. And let's go circle 2024. I met her son randomly. And we started talking. And then he was like, "You know my mama?" And I was like, "No, I probably don't. I'm very to myself." And then he said, "You live 2 miles from my mother's home." I was like, "Listen, this funny now. You gonna laugh. You talking about big butt Donna down the road? You talking about big butt Donna with the big old booty?" He said, "That's my mama." I know I got. We went to his mother's home on our first date. We went to his mother's home. She wasn't there. But he was just trying to show me, like, you can trust me. You live around the corner from my mama. I walk by her house every day. Every day. And we used to work out together. We were friends, but she never mentioned that she had children. How you do that?
I don't want to ask why.
I want you to tell me, because you know. She never mentioned her children, ever. We worked out together for 10 years.
But you know
She
what?
never said she had children.
Do you think she was trying to appear a lot younger than what she really was?
Well, we knew what her age was. We all worked out together.
Well, see, that's basically what I'm hearing. I'm just saying me. Okay. And I know you said big butt, you know.
Big butt Donna.
Right. So I figured, you know, she might have been
old booty. Ghetto booty.
Nice shaped woman, curvy, like.
Yes, very nice, very pretty.
And I'm trying, the way I'm trying to see it is, she probably thought she was like me. Like, I'm 63. Wait a minute. I'm 63. But I lied to myself and say I'm 36. So she might have lied to herself and said she's 19. So she wants you to know.
But how about this, though? I'm going to give you the dynamic because I need some daddy advice. My daddy died when I was 11, okay? I need some daddy advice. When she found out that, and her son is an NFL player, retired, all that. He's an amazing guy. But she said to him, when he told me and showed me where his mother lived, I'm like, "Oh, I know Donna. I know her." He was like, "Well, she don't like me talking to my daddy. She don't like me doing da-da-da-da-da. She's very controlling type A personality. I'm a controlling type A personality. I've grown past that. I went into another level of consciousness, okay? But I'm still on the fact that she never mentioned her children, and she has 4 children.
And see, I don't know. Be honest with you.
I need you to help me, Daddy.
I don't know why she might have done this, but I'm just looking at, in a way, sharing her children. Well, they grown, right? And I'm saying they grown, and I'm looking at sharing her children. And then on his point, from what I'm looking at, he's not a man. And sometimes mothers can take on that because, number one, she should not dislike you if
she loved me. We used to work out together.
But now, oh, you was
But
more
she don't
concerned.
love me dating her son.
Right. And see, that's if now she know you, or she know, I'm saying she know you. She know you're a good woman. She know who you is, and she should be glad that her son is dating, I'm gonna say, a well-rounded, educated, independent woman.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna share this, and I gotta watch it because you took me back.
I'm sorry.
My daughter, my 24-year-old, and her friend been together. I call him my son-in-law. When she mad at him, she tell me don't call him son-in-law. But I call him my son-in-law, right?
We do that. You know that, right? We do that. He ain't your friend. I'm your friend. No.
That's what she say all that too. Because they've been together since private school. And then they went to college together. He working and everything, got a good job. That's the one I told you studying to be a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
And they still together. But now his mother.
Them mammies or something else. I'm telling you, them mammies be different.
And my daughter was telling me how his mother would walk around the house with a little to no clothes on. And I'm like, huh?
That's not appropriate.
Right. And then on top of that, she done met me. She done met my wife. All my ex, I'm sorry. All of our family came together for getting together, gatherings, and turned around to find out she really don't care for my daughter.
How? It's the cognitive dissonance for me. I don't know how you can like me as a person and then you find out what you never told me or disclosed.
And you know, as a result of that, when you come for mine, I'm going to come for you. And I had to catch myself. Not only that, I'm going to tell you, my ex-wife had to catch herself too. Because when it comes to our children, even though they grown, we don't play. And I'm more like the patient one. Whenever, like when they was in school and I would have to come up to school for certain little things, my ex-wife would be real ghetto with her stuff. Well, I had to act real professional because I was a little bit older, but I knew how to throw hints to tell your child in a way that if they need to straighten their butt up and back up, because 9 times out of 10, we taught them very well. But I understand too that children will want to be a part of certain things because of the peer pressure thing. You get me? But I'm going to correct mine, and my wife, we're going to correct them, you know. But if I know you got a child that's not being taught right by you and your behavior, I throw little hints at you to let you know this one you don't want to play with. And one day when we did go up to school about a pew-pew that was brought up to the school because of some other kids doing something to this kid, and I threw a hint, and the police just laughed at me. Because the mother and the grandmother was acting ghetto as all outdoors. So now I had to find the proper words to let them know. Not that one right there. But the way I threw the hint, I looked at the police and he was over there laughing like, oh shoot. Because it's certain things you say to people to get their attention. Mainly like I can only go back to my children. Oh, independent, what happened? I can only go back to my children family for the way we raised them. Now I come from the streets, right? And we had to raise our kids totally different so they wouldn't, think that lifestyle was a productive lifestyle to practice. You get me? So if you tell me my son this, my son that, I know my son. And I'm going to tell you point blank, you're a liar. I don't care who you is. I can tell you right now to this day. Now, I know children would do certain things, don't get it wrong. But then I had to look at the way my wife and I raised them. Number one, they're not going to fight you straight out. But if you come to them to do something to try to hurt them or whatever, they know to protect themselves. They're not going to swing on you. We taught them to respect their adults and all that type of stuff the same way my mother taught us. To respect your adults and your teachers. And if your teacher called me and had an issue with you, and I'm going to talk to you, if your teacher called me a couple of months later again and say she having an issue with you, I'm going to talk to you again. Now let her call me again. The 3 strikes you out. And intervention, you can request to come back up. But look, because I don't know how you drop That's what I used to do with my children. 3 strikes, you out. Now, once they turn like 10, 11, I stopped pulling out the pop belt, right? But they will tell you point blank, the only time my father will beat us, and I don't care who you is, what type of judge you is, what type of police you is, because I'm going to make it clear to them. I'd rather discipline mine than to have you take them out. And I told the police that one day, and he turned around and walked away. Yeah, because you know I could discipline. Yeah, but I'd rather discipline mine to respect y'all than for you to take them down. And I'll tell the judge the same things. So now, once my children got to about 10, right, 10 or 11, I started talking with them. Intervention, what happened? You can request back up if you want, because I didn't realize you had dropped. I ain't dropped you. But those are some of the stuff that, like, my mother taught us. And then it was the community. So if you was out there and you was showing your butt, you know, that's when the village came together, right? So your neighbor might have whooped your butt. And then when your mother came home and they told your mother what happened, your mother whooped your butt. So this is the type of era I grew up in, right? And this is the same type of era that I try to practice with a lot of our children. So now I'm going to say this, because of my Teen Talk show, because when I talk about the Teen Talk show is to give our youth a voice. Because you have a lot of young people. I'm talking about our children. They could be going through certain things in the house. So y'all know the old saying was, what happens in the house stays in the house. So you got a lot of children that's being hurt. So the reason why I came together and started this program so that we can give our youth a voice to talk about some of those personal issues. I'd rather see where people, our youth now, can have an outlet where they can talk as much as they can as far as being comfortable. All right. I got you. And did you, oh, wait a minute. That's the reason why, wait a minute. Intervention, I invited you. Now.
Hey, I got you.
Okay. Yeah. Now that's the reason why I started like my Teen Talk show, to give our youth a voice. That's why I want to open up the multi-purpose center where the ones that has say like can sing, can dance, can act, and all of this, we can embrace their talents. It's like the School of the Arts. But this is what I want to put in the multi-purpose center so we can take some of our children that's out there being destructive off the streets. Then in the process of me doing this business proposal, I thought about a daycare center. And the reason why I thought about the daycare center, because you have so many young babies, 10, 11, 12, and I hate to say it like that, they got babies.
Yeah.
And the goal is to get them out the house where they can have a place to go. Some of them might want to sing. Some of them might want to dance. Some of them might want to do theater. You know, embrace their talents. So the goal when I did that business proposal, and it said, what would you do different compared to other programs like this, right? Yours, it was the day to bring the daycare center in and to bring a therapist in once a month, you know, until we can get them in twice a month. Because now you talking about trying to find out why our youth are acting the way they're acting, right? Some of them is acting out on pain, trauma. Some of it's learned behavior. So a lot of the parents too, you might have to sign them up for parenting programs. You know, I did foster care, so I know they're out there. Because in foster care, they're going to teach you how to raise that child, that foster child. And I learned a lot from doing that too, intervention that helped me treat my kids a certain way. That matter of fact, it helped me become a better parent. From them teaching me how to deal with children that's not mine. Because I did the kinship foster care. Because I didn't want my nieces and nephews to go into somewhere where they didn't know people. Then I brought my little cousin in. Then I signed up for private foster care. And we've been talking about opening up a building again for foster care children that's aging out of the program. But guess what? The ones that's actually aging out, we can put them into their own place once we get them into the apprenticeship program. But once again, it has to start with the temporary part of it. And this is what all my stuff, intervention, is designed around. And you know, I had to create a team. The board members, volunteers, I'm like, hey, look, I can't do this by myself. So you have to have that team and that team of professionals. But now when I was sharing that, I didn't realize you had dropped the intervention. But now, and doing that, and there's so many people in Baltimore City, and I love it. They don't just work with the young men in Baltimore City. I'm talking about your teenagers. They work with the queens too, the babies too, the girls, you know, and I love it. I love it. When I watch Mr. T and them, I'll be like, oh my God, because that's like daddy, you know, with the young ladies and the young men, and then they up there singing and playing around. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get there, right, to start doing my little show with them, you know, but now, you know, when you do that, I got to talk with the parents to get their approval with certain things. So the goal is to have the parents interact too. And that's why, remember when I said I want my own studio? Because when it comes to the Teen Talk Show, for some reason, I got this round table. Because I keep thinking about what's your name and her family. So I want to do a round table with the teens. But I wanted to put some chairs out there like a little audience too. Now, I don't care if you over in this area and you want to do that, let's come together. You in this area, you want to do that, let's come together. Because see, this is the way we can work to help our kids understand there's programs out there that can help those that's mainly destructive. Because I want the kids that's hard to work with. Because see, what I'll do in intervention, you bet not call CPS on it. What I'll do, rather than wearing one level belt, I probably wear about 3 or 4 and say show off. Show. No, it'll look intervention, it'll be love. It'll be love. Because I know when you have challenging, and I'm saying children-wise, a lot of them, if they feeling empty inside, they need to feel love. They need to feel warmth. They need to feel comfort, you know. And if they home and their parents are just turning them down with their mouths and stuff, or they beating and banging on them because they call themselves beating them, that's abuse. But now my thing is, because I like to play with the belt and make you think I'm gonna whoop your butt. You know, being daddy or grandpa or something, you keep them beat your butt. I call CPS on you, know I call them for you. Trying to play with me. So I'm telling y'all, this is how I work with our people. But you know, you have to keep it professional. And my people know intervention. Anytime the females trying to tell you what I said need to be done, and you won't listen to them, and the Big Steve got to come up there, you know dad ain't gonna play. What? Come, you intervention. You sleep. Intervention snore her butt off. I'm gonna get ready to get off here because I gotta take my walk. And I don't, what is it? And I don't want to walk around too late because it's dark. You sleep. But look, family, I just want to say thank y'all. And my couch talk, right? My couch talk. And I'm going to say this because of something Tony said out his mouth last night. I'm not looking to financially capitalize off of my Facebook page. I just want to make that clear. Because you said something out your mouth last night And I kept telling you, Tony, because of my LLC, I don't have a lot of time to, like, I'm trying to grow my YouTube page. I'm trying to grow my Twitter page. I'm trying to grow my Twitch page. I'm trying to grow it to that point where I can capitalize off it. But that's not my main purpose, because I have to focus more on my LLC. And me and you talked for a long time, bro. And one thing I realized in us talking, and I told you what I do as a guy that has an LLC and work with our homeless and less fortunate population. So yes, I get donations. I get stuff to help our people with. And you gonna sit up there and make that sound like it's a bad thing, when I got other people that will donate towards the services. So you gonna sit back and say something to me about you give people money out your pocket. I might give like 5 people some money, blah, blah, blah. But I guarantee you, you're losing more than me. See, my goal is not to use my money, which I have a tendency of doing, when I can get other people to donate services to help the people in the community. And you sat up there talking with me, bro, trying to make it look like that's a bad thing. No. That's where they talk about that village. That's what they talking about, the community uniting together. And that goes to show me, bro, and I wasn't trying to be smart with you, that you don't know jack. You don't know nothing, bro. So everything, that's why I said you don't have to be in competition with me. What's up, Lord Steve? You don't have to be in competition with me. As a human rights advocate, I keep telling you, I fight for the people. And you know more about Baltimore City, and you live in DC, bro. But you know more about Baltimore City than you do DC. We have barbershops here in the inner city. We have CVS stores in the inner city. You have a lot of them that's closing down too. And the reason why they're closing down, because they're not profiting anything, because people is stealing out of it. People stealing more than what they buying. So that's why you got a lot of your CVS's and stores like that that's starting to close down. And if you know anything about communities like Target, Safeway, places like that, they will make an agreement to come into that community to open up a store, right? They might do it for 7 years, agreement. Now, if they make money out of it, they might stay after the 7 years, if they profit. And if they just steady losing money, once that 7-year contract is up, they're going to go. That's why you need to understand, bro, about business. And then you need to listen when somebody that's doing certain things trying to tell you. Because you kept running off at your mouth. And I talk. I know I talk. But it seemed like every time I went to say something, you was combating everything I said. And like I said, I'm not in competition with you, bro. I'm not in competition with no man. My thing is to focus on Steve Copeland, what Steve Copeland does. Do not compare yourself to me. And what I realized, bro, and I know you probably right there looking, like I said, don't call my phone no more. Because I realize you and I cannot have a decent conversation. And I'm not going to be on no phone with nobody that wants me to understand more about go and all this. And you can't even have a decent conversation with nobody. And then the names got to being called. And then you gonna sit here and say, yeah, because if you was in my face, blah, blah, blah. You right there in DC, bro. Why are we going there? You the one reached out to me saying you wanted to hook up and do some work together. And then all of a sudden, now you want to go into this little, yeah, because if you was in my face, blah, blah, blah. That's why I like challenging my brothers, because y'all will take it there. I ain't gonna sit here no matter how many you might yell and scream and argue with each other, right? That's just typical to me with men. It's the ego, the pride. But then when you get to that point of saying, yeah, because if you was in my face, if I was in your face, now I know, do you think if I ever come in your face, I'm going to come in your face in your presence? See how I shut my mouth, right? Because you took it to a whole nother level, bro. And I don't know what's wrong with y'all cowards. And I'm talking about y'all men that likes to sit back and all of a sudden your balls then got a little bit bigger. Not with OG, bro. Not with OG. You ain't got to go there. You ain't got to play that thing like you in prison and you got to flare up. That's that little boy in you. When you get to the point you feel like, yeah, because if you was in my face, that's that little boy. Because men, real men that understand each other, keep it real. We ain't got to challenge each other. And I kept telling you that too, bro. Whatever you do where you at, you stick to what you do. Don't try to compare what you do to me. Then when I get to talking to you about business, do you got this together? Do you got that together? Nah, I ain't got to do all this. I ain't got to do all that. But you say you're a businessman. Go play with yourself. Then I ask you, do you have a website? Yeah, my website is on Facebook. No, I got a Facebook page. That's not my website. But if you go on my Facebook page, it will guide you to my website. It will guide you to my Google page. I got a Google page that's connected to my website. Y'all and I'm not trying to be smart, but I'm talking about my brothers. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. Because number one, if you act like you know about business and you try to talk a good game, I'm going to throw certain things at you to see where you at. If you want to talk about nonprofits, now, I was a board member with Community United in Baltimore City for almost 2 years. We got $5 million to put back into the west side of Baltimore. We created a group, right, to allocate that money. So you want to talk about the business side and the nonprofit side of stuff? And if I tell you, because I'm in it, what we did to get back to the community, and you're going to tell me that's not true, and I'm telling you what we did. So that's how I know you don't know nothing. Yeah. That's how I know. When you don't know jack. You. Yeah. I'm not sure. You said it needs lit or something. Right. Now, it got these batteries in it, and it got the burn. Hey, look, I had to apologize to you about the court date, right? All right, cool. All right, cool. Thanks, family. Somebody come up here under the name Marvin Sapp. I'm gonna get right in this. I had to go downstairs. Try to see what's wrong with this heat. All right, family. Look, once again, thank y'all. The time frame is not too bad. 2 hours and 10 minutes. But I want to go take me a little walk. I definitely got to go to this mailbox. But so I'm gonna go take a little walk. I'm trying to get into the habit of taking walks. Ron invited me back over there. I ain't going over there, Mr. Troublemaker. I don't gotta go take him a walk, bro. I'm about 200 pounds now, right? I used to wear over 3, but that was years and years and years ago, right? So I had to lose a lot of the weight, mainly because of the diabetes too, right? So the goal is to get down to like 190. Matter of fact, I had got to 190, but I was over. During that time, I was falsely accused and I got locked up. So I couldn't eat the food. And I didn't realize by me not being able to eat the way I should have, I was starving myself. Right? Because the food that made me, with the salt and all that, I had a couple of operations while I was there too. So I had to start watching what I eat. And I did get down under 200 pounds. I got down to like 190, back down, to about 190. But I'm going to say this, right? This is the smallest I ever been in over, I know good, no, I'm going to say 25 years. Because I did weigh 200 before. I got down to that amount some years ago, but slowly but surely I picked the weight back up. So now I'm back down. And I'm trying to do everything right, being a diabetic, because I'll be honest, I want to come off the meds. And from what I'm looking at now, and I won't know till I go back to the doctors and to get them to actually check my blood work to see where my AC1 is at, right? Thank y'all for the gifts to see where my AC1 is at, right? But for the most part, when I look at my machine right here, it tells me that it's 6.8. And on the average, my glucose, even though it runs like up and down like this, on average, it says 144. So if I eat something, it's going to take it up. Hey, Minister Copeland, if When I eat, it'll take it up. But once I take the fast acting, it'll bring it back down. What's up, Minister Copeland? You know, I was up here thinking, I was thinking about you, right? And I was thinking about us as Copelands, right? Now, this is my cousin who's a minister, and I'm an ordained deacon, even though I call myself a minister in the spirit, right? Because I'm in the streets, but he's behind the pulpit. But I'm just looking at us, because he's not the only one. And I'm saying the Copeland family, right? We got a lot of ministers and deacons and all of that in the Copeland family. So I don't know if that go back to our roots or what. But yeah, I was thinking about you, minister. I was thinking about that. And I'm like, the Copelands, man, I'm going to tell y'all point blank, I'm so, so proud of the Copeland family. And when I say that, and I had to look at it one day, minister, my oldest cousin, and this is my aunt's daughter, right? I'm 63, she's about 72 now. Now, my brother, which is my oldest brother living now, he's about 71. And then it hit me, minister. Now, I got a cousin that's probably about 70. But I realized I'm number 4 of the elders of the Copelands. And on my side of the family, like from my mother, aunt, grandfather, and all of them, that I grew up with, you know, and it hit me. I am the 4th younger from the oldest, right? But the reason why I'm saying all of that, because I am the most responsible one out of all my mother's children and my aunts. And that's the way I was taught. Now, my youngest sister, she's taking care of my cousin. And not only that, she raised my sister 2 youngest kids. I'm telling you, minister. And she raised the 2 youngest. I'm gonna tell you, you ain't lying. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all, my cousin said, my cousin said you got the family tree. And he ain't lying. He ain't lying. Cause it's a beautiful feeling when you can sit back and you looking back over your family, right? Then you looking at the ones you raised with children. Then you looking at the ones you raised, like my niece, both of my nieces are grandmothers, but they are in their 40s and 50s, right? So when I look at that, and for me to be their uncle, and then I have grandkids. I'm not a great grandfather, but I have grandkids, and I'm just looking at the family tree. My mother passed at 51. When I turned 51, you know, you kind of get scared because she passed at 51. But now I'm 63. And when I look at that, y'all, I'm like, I'm forever grateful. When it comes to God, I am forever, ever, ever grateful. So y'all know and understand that's why I do the show, right? Because the whole goal of me, hey, alive, the whole goal of me when I come on to do the show, don't get caught up with the way I do things. Because a lot of y'all will look at me, and then when I get loud, y'all be like, oh, he aggressive. No, he's not. That's just the way I'm going to say minister. And a lot of times when I get loud, if you understand where I'm coming from and you got evil spirits around, the whole thing is to run them off. See, y'all don't know that. Y'all don't catch it. I don't need you to catch it. But I understand what my mission is and my purpose. Now, y'all listened to me earlier, right? When I talked about the couch conversation, then I went on into the part about the Teen Talk Show. So basically, when you're dealing with your people, the less fortunate, the people that Jesus Christ came back to help, to motivate, to empower, to encourage, to help them learn to live a better way of life. That's why, for me, if you know Bible and you understand scripture, understand what his purpose was here. So if I sit here and I say stuff like this, minister, I am a fisher of men, women, children. If I sit here and I tell you I'm an ordained deacon, and you know what the ordained deacon position is, to help the widowers, your elders. Once again, it goes back to the less fortunate people. That's why a lot of times I hear people and you want to talk like you know scripture. And when I say certain things to you, I realize you really don't know scripture, or you really don't know what Christ's purpose was all about. If I sit here and I tell y'all, when I talk about imitating Christ's humility, right? Without a doubt, I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person. You piss me off, you're going to see that Lucifer side of me. That's just part of my personality. That's all. I can be ignorant. I can get jealous. I can feel insecure. I can go through all of that. But because of the good qualities or my integrity, I try to let that show out more. But if you get me, so I don't need you to act like if I say I'm a deacon, I'm an ordained deacon. When I say ordained deacon, there's a difference between an ordained deacon and just your deacon. That's just a title that I was given for the church that I'm in, the bishop that I'm under. But by right, I'm a minister of Christ. I know who I am in my spirit. I know where I'm at when it comes to my relationship with the Father, with the Son, with the Holy Spirit. But I know God is just one. I know all that. One God, one faith, one baptism. Or if you want to put it, one God, one baptism, one faith, however you want to see it. Now, if God deals with you and you call him Yahweh, if that's how you see Jesus' name, then that's fine. But if I come from Bible teaching and tell you in Bible that his name is known by Jesus, I don't need you to tell me what back in this time or during that time wasn't no J's. I don't need that. Then if you go there with it, I really don't care to hear it. Because if you study to that point that you call Jesus Christ by a different name, that's fine. Don't get it wrong. But see, my thing with a lot of y'all, if you call him by other names, I'm going to ask you this. Have you learned to develop a relationship with the Holy Spirit? You can talk about the Father. You can talk about the Son. But then I'm going to ask you, have you learned to gain a relationship with the Holy Spirit? I got you, cuz he said as the way we move along, you can reach some and not others. And be honest, I learned that to family. Look, because sometimes, right, because of the work I do, well, the work God had me doing. So when you say I, basically I'm talking about what he called me to do. Okay. I started realizing, and I laugh about it sometimes, family, because I gotta tell myself, Steve, you're not Jesus Christ. Because in my mind, it's like I can help, I'm trying to help everybody. And then it hits me, you can't save everybody. And I have to realize that, family, because we want the best for our people. And when I say our people, I'm going to just give it a percentage, right? I'm going to say 90%. When I say our people, I'm talking about the black people. Okay? When I say our people. But then I started realizing black people is not the only people that God created. But when it comes to the way, as a community activist, right? As a civil rights advocate, when it comes to the blacks, right? I say 90% of that when you hear me say our people. But then because of the work I do in the community, whoever that's struggling or that's suffering, because the devil don't have no picks. Your race, your color, none of that. Your ethnic, none of that. Your nationality, none of that. When pain comes. So a lot of us, we understand that trials and tribulations, they come to make you strong. So certain people you talk with, if they not used to the word, biblical, then you have to use layman terms as far as building them up. Now, this guy told me last night, right now, I'm going to tell you, Steve. My goal, one, is to build back up your self-esteem. If you dealing with low self-esteem, insecurities, anything negatively, right? The goal is to help build back up on your character. Mainly if you had people tell you stuff like you'll never be this, you'll never be this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Yes, you can. Transatlantic slave trade and their children. And this is what my cousin just posted. And I asked another one of our cousins, right, minister. I said, why do our people act the way they do? Blah, 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 right? He sent me something. I forgot his name because now I'm 63. Blame it on the mind. Blame it on the mind. He sent me this message. He said post-traumatic slavery disorder. A lot of us are stuck. And my cousin just put it up there. The transatlantic slave. I mean, let me go back. AJ, let me go back. Those that came through the transatlantic slave trade and their children passed down. The mindset. So, Mr. Tony, if you're still looking at Steve, you see what my cousin just put, right? So once my other cousin made it known to me, the post-traumatic slavery disorder, but it's called syndrome. I even got the lady who did that article on it and everything, the books and all that speaks out on it. Because that's how we need to better educate ourselves. You want to learn certain things so that you can break those cycles. If y'all know it's been by design for us to unalive each other and take each other down. And I can tell y'all, when y'all hear me talk about black on black genocide, it's been set up. When y'all hear me talk about stuff like the school pipeline to prison, right? That's something that's been started for our black young men at a very early young age. If you don't educate them properly, they're going to become destructive. Not all. Then you want to put them into that big old slave plantation, the prison. Now, I'm going to tell y'all straight out, TikTok don't like when I talk like this. Facebook don't like when I talk like this. Because we talking about breaking the cycle. So now, here I come. I'm going to ask you, what are you doing in the inner city community? Like with programs, projects, intervention programs, recovery programs. When I say stuff like that, I'm talking about what are you doing in the communities that need these programs, need that help the most? What are you doing to help them turn their lives around? What are you personally doing? What are you doing when that person who's been raped or abused or in an abusive relationship trying to get away? How are you working with them to help them walk up out of that? Now, you heard me say walk. I didn't say come. because it's a process in coming out and staying out. So what are you doing? Encouraging them? Are you encouraging them? Are you motivating them? Are you giving them the power and the strength to build that thing up and walk away? These are the type of people I work with to help them. But you got to help them to be honest with themselves. You got to help them to have faith back in themselves. You got to help them trust back in themselves. They got to feel it. It's in your spirit. You got to feel it. And look what I'm doing. You got to feel it. Look how I'm doing it. You got to feel it. Now I'm talking about the power, the energy, to say enough is enough. I'm gone. Do y'all know how to work with somebody and help build them up like that? You got to empower them. You got to help them to understand that they are better than any situation that they are going through. Do you do it? Can you do it? Do you know how to help the unbelief to start believing back in themselves? Well, no, you don't. So don't get mad at me. Okay? Don't get mad at Steve. Because God is still doing some mighty work on me. As a recovering addict, coming up on 33 years clean. And the reason why I share stuff like that, because people might have family members that's stuck and caught up in that lifestyle. So I'll share with you to help you to understand with them why they going through certain things. Because it could be 9 times out of 10. Look where I'm going. It's deep in here. So once you work with that person, and I'm talking about with me when they come to me one-on-one, if somebody asks me to sponsor them, now I'm going to do the NA thing with you. If you ask me to sponsor you, and I know you come in the NA meetings, I'm going to suggest that you go to the NA meetings. Sit on the front row. Take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. I'm going to talk to you like that. Sit on the front row. Take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. The thing is, listen to learn and learn to listen. Listen to learn and learn to listen. A lot of times we have a tendency of doing when somebody talking, we're in our head. You're not listening because you already got the answer. So you're not listening because you're in your mind trying to figure out what you're going to say when they finish. So that goes to show me you're not listening. Here. That's why we say learn to listen and listen to learn. We tell you to do a 90-90. So that means you got to go to 90 meetings in 90 days. We just giving you suggestions. So when we say do a 90-90, you can do 1,000 meetings within them 90 days, but we're telling you because the same way, suggesting to you, the same way that you didn't become addicted to whatever it is. It could be food, smacks, lying, cheating, all that. You got to break that habit. So you break that habit by learning to sit still. Then you got to change people, places, and things. I'm telling you, everything they suggested to me, I suggest back to other people. So you can sit back and say, oh, it don't work. And I'll tell you like this, I'm coming up on 33 years the day at a time. It don't work. Well, you different. No, it does work. I'm living proof. Now, if you want me to use the word repent, repentance is a day at a time too. Whatever you're doing that you're struggling with and you're fighting with, the same way I had to give up the smugs and all of that, give it to God. I became involved in the church. So a day at a time, I repented from that lifestyle. He took the desire from me. And I thank God for taking that desire from me. I have not had a desire in almost 33 years. Oh, I have thoughts from time to time, but it don't serve me. Because guess what? I don't want to ever get caught up like that again in my life. Lose self-control. So I got other areas of my life that I had to work on throughout the years too, and practice the same principles. So now, a day at a time, I repented. God delivered me from. So I can go in the biblical side and use those type of words, or I can just keep it plain and simple. Because it all depends on who you're dealing with. Everybody don't believe in Jesus Christ. Everybody don't even want to get to know a God, mainly because of their pain and their suffering. Well, if I meet you and we talking, I got to come at you in a certain way. Because if you're mad at God because of something that happened in your life, because of what somebody else did, and you feel like God allowed them to do that, no, he did not. Now, whatever happened in your past from somebody that should not have done those things to you, you have to learn. And this is the hardest part. First, I'm going to say you got to learn to forgive yourself for how you feel about what was done to you, because it wasn't you. It was a sick individual that put his sickness on you. So you know what I had to do in that process? I had to accept the fact whatever happened back then happened. I can't change it. Then on top of that, whatever resentment I had, whatever anger I was carrying, whatever hatred I was carrying, whatever bitterness I was carrying, I had to learn to love and forgive. Not the person, myself, for how I felt about whatever happened to me. So as a result of that, I had to learn to love Steve. So that's the same way I work with my clients, is to teach them how to love themselves again. For no matter what happened to you, we can't change the past. Yesterday was yesterday. Today is another day. So I got to focus on today. I lost my sister 3 years ago, my best friend. Got mad at God because he took my sister. But I prayed for God for his will to be done. But I really did not imagine me being without my sister. Lost her 3 years ago. Somebody told me, family, don't be mad at God, because his will was done. And be honest, I did not realize I was mad. I was hurt. That pain was really great. And one day I woke up. The pain wasn't there no more. It wasn't as great. So I had to get myself back together, because I have a housing program. I got individuals in that house at that time. But I was in a state of depression. So I had to muster up the courage to move that to the side to go back and check on my clients. I couldn't stay in that state of depression. That's all I'm trying to say. So when he woke me up one day and he eased that pain, he took that pain from me. I miss my sister. I miss my brother. I miss my mother. I miss my oldest brother. And I'm sharing this like that, family, because you know what? Even though a lot of it hurt, because they're not here no more, they at peace. To me, they're in a better place. Right? I buried my brother. I buried my aunt. So a lot of y'all women that likes to come on platforms and talk about men ain't this and men ain't that. I buried my brother. I had to knock on doors to get money to bury my brother. That was over 17 years ago. And then I buried my aunt. By this time, I had money. But y'all want to sit up here and talk about there ain't no good men out there. You better look at the ones you allow in your life. Okay? If I want to sit back and abuse women mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, I can tear you down if I want. I choose not to do that. Okay? Even though I had to walk away from an abusive marriage. But y'all, you so freaking hurt that you want to blame everybody for your stuff. And understand, I understand. Don't get it wrong. When you hurt, you get it? But my thing is, go and get the proper help to help you deal with that bull crap. If I recognize you hurt, I can't fix you personally. I'm talking about my mate. But if I realize you hurt, I'm not going to let you close to me. Because you're going to bring all that here. I don't want that. And I don't want to give it to you. If I'm going through something, believe me, if it's something that happened on the outside and it has nothing to do with us in the house, don't bring that bull junk in your house to your mate. That's some sick stuff. Why would you want to do that? I'm talking about brothers and sisters too. If you had a bad day at work, whatever happened at work, when you come home, leave that mess over there. You don't come in there and take it out on your family. And a lot of y'all have a tendency of doing that. You don't do that. And then you wonder why your kids don't want to run to you and give you a hug and all of that, because you coming in with all of that mess on you, they running away from you, and you can't see it. And a lot of y'all believe deep down in your heart, deep down in your spirit, yeah, I like arguing with men. I like this, I like that. Well, go find your man you like arguing with. Don't come here. And that's the same with the men, with the women. I ain't gonna come home, yeah, when you blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I might do it one day. Then I might not do it for another 6 months. Now that's different. But if it's something you gonna come in every day or every other day, I'm like, what the what? What the what? Bite. Look, I like when that little girl did that. Bite, when she told her that. Bite. Seriously, once you get like me, I'm 63. I do not want to hear that bull crap. You get me? So if you the type that want to go, yeah, and you this and you that and you this and you that, then you need to be by your daggone self. So you won't have to go and you this and you that. You tell yourself that. Go in the mirror. Like I'm looking at myself while I'm talking to y'all. You did, you that, you did, you that. What did he say? Hell no, no one has time for that. You ain't lying. Hey, Dr. K, what's up, baby? But look, whatever that's going on with me, right? And I'm telling y'all, be honest, you come for me, it takes a lot of patience to be. It takes a lot of patience. So if I come back for you, that's because you triggered that. See, Now, because I'm older, and it's a lot of y'all that's like my children age, and they're adults. So when I come back and I say something mean and nasty to you, but you look what you just said. Well, I should be able to say that to you, Mr. Older. No, you're disrespectful to that Hammondine. No. Because if you come at me like that, I'm telling you, I can imagine how you do your mama and your daddy. Come for me. And I'm going to tell you, I already know. You don't have no respect for yourself. Let's make that clear first. None. You can talk a good game, but when you come like that, you don't have no respect for yourself. And I'm telling you, as an elderly gentleman that do what I do in life. Right. I know Dr. K, and how you feeling? No way in the freaking world. Let me tell y'all this. I'm 63. And if I know somebody 70, 75, I'm just saying a little bit older than me, that I can call my elders, no way in the world I would disrespect them. I will respect where they at. I might not like certain things that they say. And I might say certain things to them to bring them down if they zapping out. But as far as disrespecting them as elders, no. And you see what Dr. K just put, kids don't have no type of respect today. And Dr. K, look, I went to the doctor's yesterday, right? And I walked back home. My daughter said, why you ain't call me? Because my daughter got my truck, right? She said, why you ain't call me? But I'm trying to walk. I've been trying to walk, right? To get the energy and everything back, Dr. K. So why am I sitting up here thinking, Dr. K, I wish I was on the bus with the kids, right? Because, I'm going to say something dumb. It's not dumb and stupid, but I'll say something to get your attention. And I'm like, look, I'm walking home, and I wanted to jump on the bus, right? Because I know the kids was coming out of school. And I was going to do a live and say, okay, all of y'all on the bus, I'm going to sing What's Your Name's record, right? I need y'all to dance behind me. Well, this stuff running through my head. I never knew love like this before. How I love you. Dr. K, why I was thinking about that? Why? I'm like, Steve, stop. Because the reason why I say these things, y'all, even though, like Dr. K said, we have a lot of children that's not properly being trained by their parents, because it starts from home. It starts from home. But now, when it goes back to what Dr. K just said, if a parent don't have respect, and I'm going to say loyalty and all of this for themselves, they can't give it back. That's how you know when you got children that's rowdy, right? Rowdy. They only acting out on what they see. How they being taught. Because it hit me one year. I can tell my son, do this, do that. I can tell my children. I can say all that Gucci stuff. But guess what? If they see me not practicing what I say out my mouth, that makes me look like a hypocrite. So I had to start understanding. It's not as much as what you say, Steve. They watch what you're doing. I'm watching my 26-year-old with her 2-year-old. Own place, 3 bedrooms, house full of toys. That's all you hear is the teaching stuff in the background, because that's her goal, is to be a daycare provider. And she got all the learning tools right there for her daughter. And I'm looking at her, right? Because we on the live. And she turned it around so I could see the baby. I said, I want to see the baby because I didn't make it with them her birthday was December the 1st. I could have went. I just didn't. I could have went. But anyway, I'm up there singing happy birthday to her, Dr. K. She started playing with her doll. She done pulled her doll out, went and got her little thing to check her doll heart and all this stuff. And I'm over there singing happy birthday, and she totally ignored me. And then she came over to her mother, right, and put the thing to her mother's chest, and her mother like boom, 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 boom. And I'm just looking at there in the Action Family, and I'm like, oh my God, because it's a beautiful feeling when you know you taught your kids the proper morals and values and principles, you know, and they not doing nothing but practicing it back. And it makes you look at yourself, and I'm gonna say my ex, their mothers too, and it makes me look at how we raised them. Even though we had our ups and downs, don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. Because my thing with my children, because of the connection with me and their mother, I don't ever want them to think that daddy hate their mother or dislike their mother. No, I don't never want them to think that. So even though they seen stuff and they're grown now, I let them know stuff like this. Daddy still love your mother. I love your mother. Daddy is still in love with your mother. I know the difference between them two. But guess what? That don't mean daddy wants your mama back. But I'm saying this with y'all. But now dealing with mine, I had to, they got to understand, daddy still love your mother. See, this is, a lot of y'all don't do that. And the guy that she with now is her oldest daughter's father. So we've been knowing each other, him and I, too. Not actually knowing each other. I know his family. I know his reputation from the street. But anyway, right? We get along. I raised his daughter. My other daughter. I get along with her dad. So y'all sitting up here, y'all talking about this mama, baby, drama, this and that, when you know you're getting into a relationship with somebody that have children outside of that relationship, and you got children too, why you gonna hate the other mothers? Dr. K, Dr. K, I know where we come from, right? I know where we come from. And I know where we're at now. And I know we don't play with certain things. Dr. K, I know. And I'm talking old school training and all that stuff, y'all.